When
All
you're
right.
living on a dream. I was
And
going to
you're
title the
not.
show that this week.
By the way, I love the part about the overpriced coffee.
Yeah,
30. That'd be for $34, sir. Yippee!
$38.
Awesome.
Awesome! I was going to title this week's show, Everything is Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We are recording?
Yes, we're recording, Mr. Tomasi.
And
Hey,
the
towels at the
title.
ready.
Towels at the ready.
That's
Oh,
right.
hey, it says live. We're live, so we better do the title.
Yeah.
Technorama episode 406 for May 28th, Tie-Dye Fractals. That explains the shirt.
Yes, actually.
Good morning, folks.
Inspiration
This is
for
your captain
tonight's episode.
Technorama.
Remember when?
Technorama.
On this day in tech history.
Tech,
And now, the news.
tech,
What the chuck?
Technorama.
Welcome to Blockhead Video.
I need a new towel. This one says, Happy New Home, 1991.
Over there, in the media corner.
Technorama. Hold my beer and watch this.
Unfasten your seatbelts and disregard all safety rules. Here are your flight crew, Chuck and Craig.
This year, Craig is going to be trick-or-treating as Linus Van Pelt under his blanket.
What was that in AT? Oh, look, a terrorist.
Tonight's show title, inspired by Craig's shirt. You know,
right.
we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel when we go, hey, what are we calling the show tonight? And he has to look at his shirt and go, large?
Yeah, large. Tie-dye freckle. Actually, by the way I'm wearing my towel, I guess it works on YouTube. If you can't see me, I assume you can't see. If
can't
you
see
can't
you.
see me, I can't see you. So we don't exist.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Technorama for May 28th, 2014. This is a show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time listening to Technorama, thank you for joining us. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. We appreciate giving us your time. My name is Chuck Tomasi, and the man that just came out from under the towel. That sounds like a metaphor for something.
I just appeared
that's
from nowhere.
Craig.
Yeah, I just appeared from nowhere.
That's like when you're a kid and you close your eyes and go, you can't see me, it's too dark.
Yeah, that's right. Denial is everything. No, I'm doing great, man. Just flew in from San Diego, and boy, my arm's tired.
Wait, I can help you with that. It might be a little funnier if we do this.
There you go.
Okay.
Just what I needed.
This show needs more than that.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Did I tell you about the dental experience I had? No, because we
Dental
haven't
experience.
done a show in a couple of weeks.
No. Okay, when you start talking about a dental
Dental.
appointment, you mention the word experience.
Okay, so I go into the dentist, and I need to do. They're going to put on a crown, right? Because I've got a molar that's cracked. And they said, "Oh, would you like the gas?" And I said, "Yes, I would like the gas."
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Would you like music?" Sure. So she hands me the iPod Touch, and it's listening to Disney's Frozen. She goes, "Oh, it's still listening to the music Julie was listening to yesterday." Julie was in the day before for the same crown on the same tooth. So
Wow.
I
Okay.
think you can get a family discount going here.
Yeah. No kidding.
Or some people are going to say, "Oh, she's got your eyes. Oh, she's got your cracked molar." Whatever.
Oh, look, she's got your teeth.
So I pull the iPod up, and I'm sniffing the gas going, I don't think it's working. She says, "How's the gas?" I said, "Crank it up another notch or two." She goes, "Okay, I've got it on the second to highest notch. Now I can feel it. It's starting to get into me, right?"
Right.
So what do I choose for music? The Pink Floyd Pandora station. And after Pink Floyd, it starts playing Led Zeppelin, and then it plays Jimi Hendrix, and I could listen to and understand every single word.
I can hear them singing backwards, even though they're singing forwards.
Hendrix is singing "Kiss the Sky," not "Kiss this guy." "Kiss the Sky," and he's feeling funny, and I don't know why. I've never heard those words before because I've never listened, because you got to be high to listen to this music, right?
Sure.
And it works. So I'm thinking we'll be more coherent and funnier if people listen to us on Laughing Gas. So next time you're at the dentist and they hand you the iPod, put on Technorama. See what happens.
We finally make sense. Yeah.
Right.
After all these years, that's the
Yeah.
secret. That's the secret sauce to Technorama.
But well, Dr. Dale is grinding away on my tooth. You know, wow, 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 wow. It's Stairway to Heaven where they're going dun 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 dun. And there's a wino down the road. Dun dun dun.
Why?
And he's
You know,
going.
maybe he should get one of those little wide adapters so he can listen to it also. He can work in time with the music.
He had no idea, but it was a masterpiece of dental work. So Tuesday I get my permanent crown put on because this temporary
Would you
one
have
is
rather
driving
gone
me
to the laser light show or the dental appointment?
It's the nurse comes in and she goes, "How you feeling?" "I'm feeling pretty cool. Hendrix
The
makes
colors,
sense
man.
now. Could you
The
put on
colors,
some?
man.
Could you put on some Jim Morrison?"
Jim Morrison.
Anyway, we're not here to do music reviews. That would be Coverville's territory. We have more to cover for ourselves. Coming up in this episode, we have Star Trek, Douglas Adams, Star Wars. What else do you want? We've got it all. It's all coming up right after this. All right. And of course, somebody's probably going to tell us about kissthisguy.com, which is full of misheard lyrics.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the website that has it all.
Yeah, we know that one. There's also lots of other misheard lyrics sites, which are
There's a
equally
bathroom on
funny.
the right.
Right.
From Creedence Clearwater Revival.
There's
a bathroom on the right.
All right. We're doing feedback, so I will play the short little thing.
Oh, you should mention we're recording this on Tal Day, by the way, when we come back.
I will. Okay. This show is for May 28th, but we are recording this 3 days ahead. We can watch it live with us on Sunday nights at 9:30 Eastern Time. And this Sunday just happens to be May 25th, which is Towel Day. See,
Yes.
we kind of tied in the theme here tonight. And my towel actually does say, "Happy New Home." Grandma embroidered this in 1991, and
that's
she'll
nice.
have to do us a new one when we get to Phoenix this fall.
That's right.
I posted that side-by-side picture on Facebook of when Donna and I first moved in.
Or wait a minute, she should just take that towel and stitch out put a line through 1991.
Yeah, instead of 91, pull the stitches out and put in 14.
No, leave it there. Just put a line through it and put 2014 beside it.
No, it's like a copyright, 91-14.
You're right.
Maybe it is a copyright. Dang, I'm playing around with a copyrighted hand towel. Anyway, we have feedback this week. We have feedback from JPCJ. I think I got that right. Or is it JCPJ? Darn it. Now we're going to find out. He'll explain it. We have voicemail. Let me pull that up. And here we go. Right?
I'm waiting.
Click. Let's play this one. Come on, Wi-Fi. It was playing a lot.
Maybe if you
really didn't
wave
want it
your
to play.
arms around a
Here we
little
go.
bit like this, the
There we
Wi-Fi
go.
will kick in.
Thanks for your birthday wishes. JPCJ.
Got it.
First initial, middle initial, birth father's last name initial, my last name initial. Ciao.
So he's got it all in there.
Ciao.
First, middle, birth father's last name, and his last name. So that makes sense. Now we know what JPCJ stands for. We gave him a birthday wish last week, and he is on board, and now we are too. Thank you very much for the feedback. If you want to get in touch with us, the listener line, what's that number, Marilyn? Well, let's push the Marilyn button.
Call the listener line at 206-222-CHAT.
And
Yeah,
we also have... Yes.
That's your sister, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you're used to pushing her buttons. Just
And I'll be seeing all of my siblings on my father's birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. So we will be missing a show on June, whatever that is, 9th, 10th.
oh, well, that's fine because I'm actually traveling again. So,
Oh, that's right. Craig's going back to work.
well, I could technically do it from the hotel room, but if you got obligations, that's fine.
I do. I have family obligations. It's my
Oh.
dad's 80th birthday that weekend.
Now,
And this is the
I'm
first
sorry,
time in at least
80th?
15 years, 80th, at least 15 years that all of us siblings have gotten together. So
Oh,
this will be I'm sure it will be a time to remember.
take your tripod and your camera.
The camera, the D90 is actually in Arizona.
You shipped it?
I'm bumming about that. No, I brought it out in December and left it there on purpose.
Oh, on purpose.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, you know what they say, the best camera you got is the one with you, and, well, oh well.
The iPhone does all right in a pinch. It's just not going to be optimal. But anyway, we also have feedback from listener Andrew Peters.
Mm-hmm.
He sent you, us? You. Who did he send this to?
I think he tagged it on the Technorama. Well, maybe he did send it to me.
Okay.
I remember, I'm not sure quite where I found it. I think he emailed it to me, or I saw it through the Technorama feed or something like that. But regardless.
Yeah, in honor of Towel Day, honoring Douglas Adams, they have created a Babelfish, a real live, honest-to-goodness Babelfish, and it's a video of his daughter putting one together. They take a little squeaky toy fish, rip out the squeaker, and shove in a Bluetooth headset and make it stick out the mouth. So she holds this little rubber fish up to her ear, and while Dad goes through Google Translate and says, bonjour, and you hear the little fish go, hello.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
Adorable.
That's cool.
Awesome. Yeah. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah,
So
I was
thank
watching
you
it going, oh, that's awesome. I wish I had thought about that before.
I know, we're just a little slow.
So we'll be going through the airports with a fish to our ear. Yeah, I hear you, Chuck. What's up? Okay,
Next
yeah.
time I'm flying to Hong Kong or something, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Um.
Hey, speaking of listeners, you got to
Yep,
hang out with Ranger Craig, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I was going to put that in the news, but let's go now. I hung out with Ranger Craig. I was in San Francisco for some training this past week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Wednesday night we were able to get together. We have not hung out since, what was it, 2009 when I did the podcast thing for the National Park Service?
Mm-hmm.
Has it been that long? Oh, man. Well, I was out there 3 weeks previous for our corporate conference, but I was busy because, I'm an employee and I got to keep working and they're paying me, so I didn't have much time to socialize with anyone other than customers or coworkers.
Right.
So this week I was out for training. It was me and one other guy from our company and several others from other companies. And I said, hey, let's get together. Well, the only time he had available was Wednesday night, so right after training, I hopped it over to Fort Mason, met him there, and he took me on a bit of a themed tour of the city. Now, we only had a little bit of time, so we grabbed some dinner at a place called Green's, which was very delicious. Thank you very much. And then we went past, he says, now I'm going to take you past this landmark. This is the other place we could have gone to dinner, which has very American fare, but not as upscale.
Right.
And he took me past Mel's Drive-In, one of the Mel's Drive-Ins. There's more than one.
Oh, does it look like graffiti, American graffiti?
Exactly. And he said, you know where that's from? I said, yeah, that's American graffiti. He goes, very good. So then we went past the Marina District, which was hit hard by that earthquake in '89. I said, oh, that's where that is. And it looked pretty much the same, only stood back up. Which I want to tell you, San Francisco looks wonderful this week after cleaning up so fast from the Godzilla attack. I'm really impressed with the way they get that place pulled together.
That's fantastic.
And yeah, and he attacked again this past weekend, so they're gonna have to do it all over. Every time they play that movie, they gotta clean up.
Oh man.
So we drove through the Presidio. I'd never been through the Presidio area, closer to the bridge and kind of off to the west of the Golden Gate Bridge area.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. It was a little cloudy, a little overcast, but still a very beautiful area.
That means you saw Yoda.
We stopped at the Lucas Museum thingamajigger, which is approximately, I'm not sure, somewhere in that area is also where Starfleet Academy will be. So you can check in there on Foursquare, but I don't have Foursquare anymore, so I didn't check in. But we did stop at the Lucas Museum. They were just closing, but we did stop into the lobby and see Darth Vader and Boba Fett and an R2-D2 ice chest, it looked like. Which is this little, like, foot and a half tall.
Chuck, it was just a free drink thing. You reach in and get a soda out.
Scotch on the rocks, and you take the rocks out of. That would be cool. Somebody's got to have one of those somewhere, right?
I know, that would be cool.
R2-D2 polished steel ice chest?
Well, I've seen the ones from 7-Eleven, where you have, where you can reach in and get a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so we got a picture out in front of the Yoda fountain. That was pretty cool.
I was with my wife and I think my mother-in-law, and we had a car, and we had just limited time, but we were close in the area where I thought the Yoda was at, and we rode around. I could not find it, so I never did get to see it. And then I saw your picture, and I went, "Oh, that's Yoda behind him. He saw it."
Yep, we were there. I said, because it's funny. As soon as I got to Craig, I've gotten to this point in my life. Maybe it has to do with this chapter we're turning from Appleton to Phoenix, and some of these people I won't get to see again for a while. I want to take pictures with lots of people. I have a lot of pictures of places and things in my life, but I've regretted not taking pictures of people along the way, or as many as I could have. So every time I meet somebody that I don't know when the next time I'm going to see them again, let's get a picture. So I said, Craig, before we take off tonight, I want to get a picture of us together. He goes, oh, don't worry, I have just the place in mind. So when we got there, that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
That was fun. We also stopped at a number of other places along the way, including the former Playland, which is down on the seaside side of San Francisco. The amusement park isn't there anymore. It's been all developed by condos and whatnot, but a lot of history. Craig's a good tour guide. And then we went back to the airport, and he dropped me off, and I hate flying red eyes, so I'll leave it at that.
Well, it's funny, well, kind of funny, but we both, for everybody that does not know, the uninitiated, Chuck and I work at the same company now, and Chuck does a lot of instructional videos and whatnot, also at said company. So this week, I didn't really think much of it, but everybody's in the class, and we're talking, and when we go out to dinner and stuff, and I mentioned I do a podcast, and it was, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I said, I told Sean, our instructor, I said, yeah, Chuck Tomasi? I said, yeah, him and I have been doing a podcast for the last 9 or so years. He's like, oh, and he put two and two together.
A lot.
Because apparently he has you on Facebook, and he saw our circular picture of you and I in the little the flash ring.
The Men in Black?
Doing Men in Black. He was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. You're right. And he kind of flipped out. As a matter of fact, I think somebody was doing a podcast with him internally, or interviewing him for something.
Oh, I see, Craig. You're riding my coattails.
Huh? Me?
You know Chuck? Yeah. I work with him.
I intentionally did not say anything about you until that moment, and I said, yeah, Chuck Tomasi? And so me and him have been doing a podcast. Wait, he said, I've seen your picture. No wonder you look familiar.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So when you get back on June 9th, you're going to have an intro, like an icebreaker thing called 2 Lies and a Truth. So you should work that into the lies somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Like, say, I've been doing podcasts with Chuck Tomasi for 10 years. Well, that would be a lie. It's only 9 years. But, you know.
Right, well, yeah. So, anyway, it was funny. Actually, the class was good, and I had a good time in San Diego.
Cool. Mm-hmm. You know what? We are almost 20 minutes into this thing, and we haven't done the history thing yet.
Wrap it up. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Move right along. Go wrap it up.
Slowly. Let's get on with this.
Yeah.
On this day in history for May 28th, 2014. This is the 148th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 217 days. Does that add up? Yeah, 365.
Yeah, something like that.
Remaining in 2014. What'd you do, man? You copied the first line into the second line. It was on this date in 585 BC that a solar eclipse occurs, as predicted by Greek philosopher and scientist Thales? I don't know how to say Greek. It's all Greek to me. Yeah. Well, Alyattes is battling Syrax. Oh man, sounds like he's got a disease. In the Battle of Halys. Can't we just go back to Leonidas? This is one of the cardinal dates, if not names, from which other dates can be calculated.
And that same date in 1892, in San Francisco, California, John Muir organizes the Sierra Club.
Yay! Didn't they write books?
Yeah.
Alan Turing submits Uncomputable Numbers for publication today in 1936.
And that same date, Calipita. Anyway, radio station begins regular broadcasting, whatever that is.
We're doing great with the names again.
No kidding.
And 1 year later, the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California, I was there, is officially opened by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in Washington, D.C. Wait, what? Who pushes a button signaling the start of vehicle traffic over the span. Like a NASCAR. Doot, doot,
That's
doot.
right. While Franklin D. was doing that, Volkswagen, the German automobile manufacturer, was founded.
12 years ago today, the Mars Odyssey finds signs of large ice deposits on the planet Mars.
Yeah, it's like at the convenience store, the ice machine. And just 2 years ago, the discovery of Flame. I'll just leave it there. No, the complex malware program targeting computers in Middle Eastern countries is announced.
I missed that one. I don't know what happened to that. Happy birthday goes out of this day to Italian mathematician Jacopo Raccacci, born on this date in 1676.
And the man that developed the blowtorch, Carl Richard Neidberg, was born today in 1858.
You know how I usually make a typo on that one? I almost did it again. I almost said was burned today on.
Burned.
Also celebrating his birthday today in 1879, Serbian mathematician, astronomer, and geophysicist Milutin Milankovic.
And finally, Ruby Payne Scott, the Australian physicist and astronomer, would have been 102 years old today.
It's one more than 101. And that's the way it was on this day in history for May 28th, 2014. Take it away, band. Love that song.
There you go.
And that's the way it was.
All right, pan the music back so we don't forget to have all of our other little intro thingy-majiggers here.
Good news, everyone!
What?
Maybe we should go dig for some more good news ones.
There are only a few left. The show's not made anymore.
No, but there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, there are. We could go get more. And I have more. I just keep forgetting to change up the soundboard app. I could have a whole page of good news, bad news things. Quick news, if you haven't already seen, go change your eBay password if you haven't already. This from eBay. This is an official email. This is not a spam or a phishing attack. Let me bring up the actual text translation, transcription here.
Use the Babelfish for that, for the legalese.
Because it has a little key in Gmail, so I know it's real. Important password update. Dear eBay member, to help ensure customers' trust and security on eBay, I'm asking all eBay users to change their password. Here's why. Recently, our company discovered a cyber attack on our corporate information network. This attack compromised a database containing eBay user password. What's important for you to know now is we have no evidence that I love this wording. We have no evidence that your financial information was accessed or compromised, which means it could have been, but they just don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. That's the point, yeah.
And your password was encrypted. What I ask of you, go to eBay and change your password. If you changed your password on May 21st or later, we do not need you to take any additional action at this time. So
I just tell everybody just to change your password, period.
Because you may have just already done it and then got confused. I just did it like yesterday.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Change it again.
Just do it.
Again. So that's our PSA in the news. That was actually not good news. That was bad news.
You
But,
know,
hey,
it's probably good. Okay, I'll go a step further. And LastPass, which is what I use as my password repository.
yes.
I had used the same password for my password vault as I did with a couple other sites.
Oops.
And of course, LastPass was good to tell me that, hey, you might want to change it. These are the same. I was like, that's
okay.
pretty nice.
Yeah,
So,
that is nice.
yeah. So, it wasn't my eBay one, of course, but I did change it. I just said, forget it. I know it's going to be random. I just let LastPass generate a password.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of trying to make some that make sense anymore. 'Cause, I mean, they all get hacked, you know. So all my sites, I'm gonna keep them different.
That's a
How
good
about
idea.
you?
Yeah, my master one on KeyPass is monster huge, long, and not like anything else. Because I wouldn't type that many characters anywhere else.
Yeah. Hey,
All
by
right.
the way,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna throw this out there real quick too, which is really cool because I started using these strange passwords for all my sites because on LastPass on the Android phone, I don't think it's the same on the iPhone. If I go to a site and it has a password prompt, LastPass will overlay on top of the app, and I can select fill in with my username and password. So it's easy to.
So the username is Phil and the password is Ian?
Yes. No, I mean it's easy to hit. Throw it in the username and password block.
Oh, I get
Because it overlays on the app, so it's kind of nice.
Let's look at the birthday calendar. We have May 28th, which is when the show comes out. Chris Martin's host of the Jesus Geek, Z Central, and producer of On the Edge of Darkness. We have May 30th is Petri Lopia. Happy birthday. June 1st is Selganor, and June 2nd is Anthony Gardner, excuse me. Enigma VB.
I prefer Enigma
or Visual Basic. I'm not sure what that's for, but I'm sure we'll find out. Let us know. Call the listener line 206-222-CHAT.
Hey, number's still working, by the way, apparently.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. Whew. All right, where's my Hacks and Strange Stories? We got to keep this show moving along. We are 30 minutes into it, and it's smelling like it's going to be a long one.
Impending news, everyone!
No, not that. This.
Hacks and Strange Stories, everyone!
Lenny's getting crafty. All right, we have a Hacks and Strange Story. X-Men enthusiast turns himself into a real-world Magneto. Well, sort of. You must read this. This is an interesting article with a very interesting video. Actually, I thought this guy looked more like he wanted to be on the International Space Station.
I think he was just excited to be on the internet.
Yeah. Well, his excitement did go well with the theme music, and that's about all I can say.
Yeah.
Let's read on from Engadget. Sure, we'd all love to have at least a few superpowers, but finding the right scientific quote-unquote accident to make your dreams come true can be such a hassle. One British inventor, Colin Fursey, is taking matters into his own hands and has started designing projects that give him some of the same abilities as X-Men characters. He started with real-world Wolverine claws.
Yes.
That's handy.
Did we talk about him already?
We may have. And now he's channeling Metal Master Magneto with shoes that let him walk on the ceiling. It's not exactly the same experience you might have if your whole body was able to control magnetic fields, but it's still pretty impressive to watch. Creating mutant footwear was pretty complicated, well, especially if you do Beast, and involved a few trials and a lot of
his toes to hold on to something.
Right. Furz's first idea involved placing small electromagnets inside the soles of his shoes, a solution that wasn't strong enough to hold his 177-pound frame. Strapped for cash and on the hunt for something stronger, his search eventually led him to a junkyard. Turns out, transformers in microwaves can actually work as pretty powerful magnets when electrically charged. They're so strong, in fact, that he just needed to strap one of them to each foot in order to suspend himself from a metal rod on the ceiling of his.
That's why you can't have a pacemaker near the microwave.
The electromagnet will rip it out?
Well, have you not heard that? You know, microwaves in use.
Yeah, I know you're not supposed to have it, but there's electromagnet.
But there's a relay in the thing, right? In the pacemaker. So if you're near a magnet, it's make it stuck open or stuck closed or something.
If anybody has a pacemaker, let us know what the real answer is, because we're making things up now.
Pacemaker.
He's gonna look it up. It's a funny video, and at the end he tries to drink upside down and eat his snacks upside down, and it just goes all over the place. But it's filmed upside down, so it looks like it's right side up and just makes a big mess. So very fun to watch. Thank you. We have another hard drive song. We have done Pirates of the Caribbean. We've done what else?
What's next, Chuck? What's next?
What's next? This is even cooler because this is Back to the Future theme, and it's done. The guy has taken his 6 floppy drives and put them inside a box. He's got it in like a little suitcase, and he's added a couple of hard drives. So there is a video playing Back to the Future. It's pretty cool. And we saw Godzilla. I saw this for the second time. Julie and I went, and Scott went for the second time, and he brought his daughter. So it was kind of daddy-daughter Godzilla day last Saturday.
Oh, so yeah, you went. I was trying to figure that out. You posted it. It looked like you went twice.
We did go twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the I think that theme music would be awesome on floppy drives also. So all you Technorama listeners out there, if you're doing the Raspberry Pi floppy drive thing, go listen to the theme music. It's composed. It's not composed, but it sounds like it's not composed by the same guy who does Pirates of the Caribbean and whatnot. I can't remember his name offhand. I think it starts with a Z. This is done by another guy, Alexander Desplat. I know I'm saying that wrong, but it's weird to say
Hey,
Desplat.
the name is cool anyway.
Because it sounds like Godzilla stepped on him.
Yeah.
So Back to the Future on floppy drives. I don't have that queued up, otherwise I'd play it, and we're running long already on the show anyway, so we're going to keep going. Build Your Own Hobbit House is next.
Here it is right here.
You
and
have it?
I'll edit it in.
Okay, yes. Oh, I love that song. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
If you want to build your own Hobbit house, here's now how you can do it. BeingSomewhere.net has full pictures and instructions with the construction process already done. It's not straight from the movie because obviously they've got like double glazed energy efficient windows that
it's inspired by the
never
movie.
had. It's inspired, yes.
Yeah.
They have repurposed it. It's very green house. Some key points of the design for the construction is they dug the hole into a hillside for low visual impact and shelter. They are using things like lime plaster on walls, which is breathable and low energy to manufacture, as opposed to concrete. They have a water fed by gravity from a nearby spring. Just really cool looking thing. I'm not sure how this would smell inside after a couple of years, but yeah, you keep the air moving and the mildew will stay low.
I don't know. He's got hardwood floors, just like anything else.
Is it hardwood? It looks like it's, yeah, and that's over tile or something. I can't remember what they said.
Look down. Yeah, you can see in the first picture.
Straw.
Huh? Over straw? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you can see there's hardwood at the bottom, and then it looks like a upper level, and it has some really cool branches holding the roof.
Backyard looks awesome. He's got lots of window space out onto a patio with a picnic table.
I would totally live there.
It looks a little on the small side.
Wait a
So
minute.
You might be living there, but nobody else will be.
Hopefully you get cell signal in the house.
Is that Wi-Fi?
This mud is interfering with my Wi-Fi.
What did it say? It's only it was only like something like 600 square feet or something. It was pretty tiny. Oh, I thought I saw it in there. I can't.
Yeah, it's
spot
probably
it
not
now.
huge. It looks cool though.
That is it. I mean, visually from the front, it's stunning.
Well, I've seen buildings where they put grass on the roof anyway, which is
Yeah.
I guess kind of what because the grass will absorb heat and not let it really pass through to the bottom. That's what
And then you got to put goats up there so they can cut the grass for you.
Yeah. Son, go up there and cut the roof. Yeah. Anyway, it looks cool, and I see the benefits of having grass on your roof.
Very cool. We are going to take a break and be right back with, oh my, we have news from the way back. Turns out George R.R. Martin has released news about the wonderful technology he uses to write his stories, and it's older than the stuff in his stories.
It's older than the stories, and it's older than the stuff in the stories.
All right, where are we going? We're going to go to the chat room first. So
Would you fill in the Ronald D. Morgan?
Welcome back. We want to give a shout out to the chat room every Sunday night. I mentioned we do this show live. If I can bring that window to the fore. There it is. In the chat room, we have Captain Root Beer. Root Beer. We have me and you and Gru and Mad Marv the Giant and Tim Elliott. Happy towel day to everybody.
Yeah.
I wish I'm happy something, because every day's a happy. Speaking of happy, Julie and I watched the Lego movie this last weekend.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome.
Would you rent it on TV or something?
Where did we see that? Yeah, Netflix or something. I can't remember.
It's on Netflix? I can't.
No, it was on not pay-per-view. It was something like that. I can't remember where we saw that.
Yeah, I need to see it again.
Yeah, it's funnier the second time because you realize, when you get to the end, they do the reveal. Then when you watch it with that in mind, everything suddenly makes sense. The dialogue is like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Even looking at the trailer, I did, I had that same feeling. So, yeah, I need to watch it
Give it
again.
away. Don't give it away. Don't give it
No.
away.
I meant No, the movie trailer. I said when I watched it, it made sense, like you just said when you saw it the second time. I went,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And Morgan Freeman does an awesome job as Vitruvius.
You are the true one. Wait, who are you?
You didn't let me finish because I died. Ooh. So we're at Godzilla and the new movie coming up. Morgan Freeman's in another movie called, what is it called? Where the girl gets something implanted and her brain starts going
Lucy?
really, really fast. Lucy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy. And I said, look, Julie, this movie's got Vitruvius in it also. And hey, wait a minute. We were able to connect Lucy with the Lego movie. It was kind of funny. You are the chosen, the special.
The special.
What was I? I said something like, she's one of the master builders. My name is Wildstyle. Are you a DJ? What? Why does everybody keep asking that? Anyway, we have Remember When. Let's play the Remember When music. Here it is. And then Remember When we find out that George R.R. Martin, writer of such great things as Game of Thrones, Tale of Fire and Ice, all that stuff, and many, many others. Well, he was on Conan O'Brien recently, and of course, he's reaping the rewards of millions of words he shaped into epic fantasy series. But there's one thing he won't be spending his newfound wealth on, and that's a new computer. Martin is content to hammer away on a 30-year-old DOS computer using WordStar 4.0 to create all his works from the good old days of wild cards to his newest epic fantasy, and he says it's all because he hates the newfangled features, like spell check.
Yes. Well,
which, can be annoying. I can't get Microsoft Outlook. Craig, his title is, what is it? What is
Automation Consultant?
Automation Consultant. Most of the people who do implementations are technical consultants, and we refer to them as TCs. So I put capital T, capital C, lowercase s, and Outlook keeps changing it to, it keeps lowercasing the C. I'm like, what is that?
Oh.
T? That doesn't even make sense. Just stop doing that.
I know.
So can you imagine Martin's dilemma if he was trying to spell Daenerys Targaryen? Oh, I see you're trying to spell tire iron.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Well, I've always complained about the way Microsoft handles spell check, for one, especially, and you're right, in Outlook, you go to the next line and you type something, it automatically capitalizes the first letter. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes.
It's a sentence. And
and if you tell it to stop doing that, it only does it like once. But
the one thing
I know there are ways to turn this crap off, but
probably. Hey, the other thing I've hated, and I mentioned this a long time ago, is I hate it when I go to select something, and it could be Word or Microsoft, and it always selects that extra space after the word. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I want the word, not...
You may want that in your next sentence. So, yeah, kudos to him. WordStar 4.0, Alex.
I want to decide that.
It probably does. Control K, Control B, man. I'm turning bold on now.
Hey, by the way...
His admission is bound to raise a few questions. Chief among the many teens, what's DOS?
Yeah.
Raise your kids right. I think Julie
What's
knows what
WordStar?
The real trick is, how do you get your work to the publisher?
Floppy.
Here's your 5 1/4 inch floppy.
Well, you can't put it on a USB drive.
No.
Actually, why don't you just get a Linux box and use like Emacs or VI?
Well, even still, if you were able to hook up a modem and dial into something and send it, what are they going to do with a WordStar document?
I know how he gets it to his publisher. He faxes it.
They have to type it in again. Which explains why some of these names are so screwy. Xerxes, that's not what I called her. Someone can't spell.
Yeah.
Who would
name what? I would imagine that your publisher probably has some requirements on how to get the transcript to them.
When you're George R.R. Martin,
Maybe
they
not.
come to you.
Yeah, I guess
he
so.
is the most interesting author in the world.
Whatever.
He tells the publishers what format to use.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Anyway.
He doesn't write the words write themselves.
I could keep going on that one, but we'll
I know.
stop. We're
Let's
going to
just
come
move
on to Christiana Ellis. We have been asked to be in Space Casey Season 2 as a minor part. We're sort of like the background guys. Who yell
There's
at.
like 3 lines.
Yeah. And I narrated all 3, and she can take them for... Oh, I did do an awesome, like, choke. So if Lord Vader ever gives me a force choke, I'm there.
Did you have a choke?
I have resume fodder. Oh, yeah. I did the choke.
I remember was there a choke?
So Space Casey Season 2 is out. You can go to spacecasey.com. And now I am really, really eager to go back and listen to Space Casey 1 again and get back into the Space Casey universe and listen to number 2. So that ought to be fun.
It was fun. And you know what? I do want to issue a public apology to her.
Why?
I did this in the email. Well, she sent the email out and said, "Do y'all want to be in it?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And me, you, and Clinton, I think, replied. Well, when I sent my audio back to her, I must have not replied to all or something because she didn't get it. And I was like...
She sent that out like at the beginning of March, dude.
I know. So I replied, and I was like, "Did you ever get this? Or how's it coming?" That kind of thing. And she hadn't. I was like, "Oh, crap." So I had to, like, send it right away. But I had it. So.
I've had those too. Although I did send it and somebody just didn't see it on a project a few years ago. But the what was I gonna say? Now I can't remember.
Well, it's just the new season's just. I was gonna say the new season's just kicking off, so you have time to go.
There's only like one episode out so far, so you don't have much to catch up on. I have heard rumors that PC Hearing may be working on a follow-up to Cybrosis, but stay tuned. I'm not going to confirm or deny that.
Don't they make a cream for that?
Do you have
cirrhosis? I'm sorry. Psoriasis.
Cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is one of the Knights of the Round Table. I knight thee, cirrhosis of liver.
Cirrhosis.
You haven't heard that before.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy. Okay, Speaking of Godzilla, which we were about a half hour ago, and we need to keep moving this along.
Yeah, don't spoil anything for the movie, because I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
An infographic of the impossible anatomy of Godzilla. Now, he has grown bigger. Well, he's getting older, right? So, like fish, I guess they just keep growing until they die. But he's getting so big that his anatomy couldn't hold up. I mean, he's got some pretty thunder thighs, but based on the mass of the animal, he'd collapse. His heart would collapse. Everything, it doesn't make sense anymore. But there's a nice infographic of the kaiju in all his glory with the cutaway of his giant heart and everything. It's apparently his heart is now 60 feet across and weighs 100 tons. So that would feed a lot of people for a long time. I won't ruin anything from the movie, but the ending is awesome. The monsters are great. The monsters are great. The storyline is...
See, now I know there's more than one monster.
It's a typical... They misunderstand Godzilla. I mean, this isn't new if you've watched Godzilla since, what, the 50s, 60s?
Yeah.
He comes in, he's misunderstood, and he turns out to be the hero.
He's got feelings, you know? He's misunderstood.
Someone sends him a Hallmark card.
Yeah. Walter White.
Hey, they do have the updated version of the classic screech that he does. I like it.
I have heard it. It sounds pretty cool.
Yep. And I love the soundtrack. I totally am digging that new Godzilla theme. I think that would make great workout music. You'll know what I'm talking about when you go listen to it. I have even considered using it as a ringtone, except I just changed my ringtone like 2 days ago to the theme from Fringe, which is an awesome ringtone, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was inspired because I was listening to Pandora, and I said, that song sounds like Fringe. Fringe would make a good ringtone, so I did it.
Yeah. It's about time for me to rotate mine out.
And that moves us on to no segue to Star Trek, because we said at the top of the show we have Star Trek. The writers of Star Trek Next Generation finale. Remember All Good Things?
Mm-hmm.
With Q and the time discontinuity thing and whatnot, and where he's jumping forwards and backwards. Well, they were writing that at the same time they were writing Generations with Kirk and Picard in the movie.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
because it came out.
Yeah.
It didn't come out. It didn't take too long to get there.
Right.
Maybe was. Mm-hmm.
So there were Ronald D. Moore and Brandon Braga were writing these at the same time, and actually the TV show turned out to be more popular than the movie, but I thought both were good.
I
This
enjoyed
is
it
a
both. I
fairly
enjoyed
long article.
Generations a lot.
They were both good, but I like the way they wrapped up that series. Very long interview with both of them, with some scenes and of course the clip of the final poker game where Picard comes in and plays poker. Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man. And I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but very good write up here from tv.yahoo.com.
Well, see, I put this in the show notes because I wanted to see if it would catch your eye that
It's
that
20
episode
years later.
that episode is 20 years old. Yes. Can you
Dude.
believe it?
It's hard to believe stuff like that because Julie is 21 in a few months, which means she was
One or
well,
less than
she
working
was
on one.
right. She was. I remember watching the tail end of these when she was a baby. And
This was
time
one
just
of my
was-
favorite episodes though. It was really good. But I can't believe I remember making sure I was in front of the TV to watch it when it came on. And I remember that
I used a
anticipation.
VHS like I did with most of the other shows.
Yeah, I just can't believe it was. I remember that anticipation so much, so close to my heart, and it was 20 years ago. That's amazing.
Well, now you look at these people at Dragon Con, and yeah, they're 20 years older too.
Hey, Patrick Stewart, I still think looks pretty good.
Yep.
He'll be at Dragon Con this year.
And speaking of Patrick Stewart, are you going to go see X-Men?
Yes, I gotta see Godzilla first. That's tomorrow.
All right.
Because,
I'm thinking about X-Men tomorrow.
Well, I gotta see X-Men next weekend because I gotta space them out. But
If
I have
it's
to see
not tomorrow,
Godzilla.
it will be next weekend. Yep, you're right.
I have to watch Godzilla first because Harrison's on a Pacific Rim high. So he's
Oh,
like,
boy.
I want more monsters. So this is feeds right into that.
Okay, right into the Geek Library. We have some great concept art, which I could totally see happening. You mentioned Dragon Con. I could see this happening at Dragon Con.
I would be disappointed if I did not see it.
Crossover of Marvel superheroes reimagined as clone troopers. Now, in the Clone Wars, this is interesting because the article says, what's the narrative they've got here? When you're a clone trooper, conformity is key, and your shiny white armor is not to be tampered with under penalty of Sith law. Which is interesting because in the Clone Wars, they did have like a rank insignia that one would have a red swatch across his helmet to indicate he
Yes.
was the leader or part of the yellow team or whatever it was. So they
Right.
did have some decorum. Although I don't know when the sterility came about. This is far from it. We've got a Captain America. Hulk looks a little. I don't know, man. He looks like he just
It looks cool,
quite
but
fit in the armor.
hey, but he has the purple pants.
He's got the purple pants, right? Yeah, with a purple cod piece, which is lovely. And
Well,
this last one, is that supposed? Who is that supposed to be?
it looks like he's got the Darth Maul kind of paint job
Right,
going on.
but is it Iron Man? It almost looks female. Just
Which one?
the red one at the end.
I said it's got that Darth Maul paint job on it.
That's not Darth Maul. Darth Maul had straight lines. These are all curved and swirly.
I think you're wrong.
What?
Darth Maul. Let's go look at a picture of him real quick.
But why would a stormtrooper dress up as Darth Maul if this is supposed to be Marvel characters?
I don't know. I think they just threw that one
Right,
in there.
that's where I'm getting confused. This one confuses me, which is probably why it looks like a woman.
There you
It's
go.
confusing me.
Look at the webcam there.
I'm looking at the webcam.
He's got like squiggly lines and stuff. I don't
It's
know.
mostly straight orthogonal kind of things. And if he was Darth Maul, he'd have
Artistic.
spikes coming out his head.
He just took an artistic license with it. Okay.
Stormtroopers do not take artistic license.
No, the guy that drew this. The guy that drew it. Well, look at the Hulk.
Dude, I'm totally putting flames on my helmet.
You know what? If the Hulk inside that suit turned into Bruce Banner, I think he'd have trouble controlling that thing.
We were talking about RGB codes last week, and the guy I said, so what's your corporate color scheme? Because the guy's, he's just begging for questions every day. He goes, so any other questions? I said, okay, where's your logo come from? And he gave that explanation. I said, what's the RGB values of your corporate color? And he goes, oh, I'm going to have to look. I used to know that. He said, do you know yours? I said, yeah, ours is D1232B. I said, now that I think about it, that sounds kind of like a stormtrooper designation. D1232B, why aren't you at your post?
Yeah.
Which is a lovely shade of red without blinding your eyeballs. And that takes us to end of the show. Look at that, 51 minutes, not too bad.
By the way, let me throw in this little nugget of news.
Go ahead.
Beware of your surroundings and devices that may interfere with the pulse generators regarding this
Sounds like a fortune cookie.
Yeah. Yeah. There's your fortune.
That's your pacemaker magnetotron thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If you see Magneto, go the other way.
He'll rip the pacemaker right out of your chest.
It may interfere with your pacemaker.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you watching, listening, or otherwise disposing of the show in a proper manner.
Yeah, recycle your digital bits.
Be sure to turn them in at the nearest Best Buy e-cycling center. Get in touch with us on the listener line, 206-222-CHAT. That's 206-222-2428. Well, you know, Craig has mentioned DragonCon. It's coming up. We're going to be there in August. Plans are being made. Big, spectacular thing that I've hinted at some point, but I'm not going to say anything until we get firm plans because that's still being worked out. But we may be, let's just say, the fat lady that sings in one point of the...
Yeah. Are you still there? Okay.
I'm still here. Yeah. Craig's behind underneath the towel again.
Yeah.
What you do underneath your own towel is your own business.
Oh,
but
all right.
Whatever you want to do, get in touch with us, 206-222-CHAT. That's 206-222-2428. Or reach us, email, technorama@chuckchat.com. Don't forget to go over to the wiki, put your birthday on there, chuckchat.com/wiki. We would love to give you a shout-out at the right time of the year. There's the guitar. It means it's time for us to get out of here.
You will listen to Technorama again.
It's Towel Day. It's not Star Wars Day. That was earlier in the month.
I'm mixing the genres here.
Obi-Wan. Oh my gosh, Kenobi.
OMG Kenobi.
George R.R. Martin spell checker. I can only imagine. That's what we ought to title the next show.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mad Marv for all the great content during the week in the blog, everyone who sent us links, and the feedback. You people are awesome. And thanks to those who joined us in the Hangout. You're even awesomer. And thank you for downloading and listening. We want to talk to you again next week, so we will. Till next time, tell a friend about Technorama and give me a binary high five.
101. 1011. Hey, something like that. Good night, y'all.
Baratheon? Are you trying to spell bathhouse?
Yeah. Say good night, Chuck.
Good night, Chuck.